Good morning. Good morning. This is your girl Coco. I came on because hold on, y'all. I'm getting all tangled up. Okay. Good morning. I came on because I have to stay true to me. First, I want to say to everyone who has. Okay, this is twisted. I'll get it together. To everyone who has subscribed to me, thank you so much. Like I told you guys yesterday, I am across the board. There's different chats that I go into, different ones I associate with more than others, and different ones I claim. However, this right here, I'm building all on my own. And I do thank you guys for supporting me, those of you who have subscribed. If you feel that my content or whatever they call it, I just like coming on here talking to y'all. It's really no big thing to me. I just like meeting people. But if you feel like it's something that someone else will glean from, or learn from, or would like or support, please feel free to let them know so they can come over and be part of my kisses. Okay? So, anywho, several things I want to talk about today. First of all, the property that you see in front of you, that is my property. Okay, I don't live there yet, but it is a family property that was passed down to me and my husband. I'm a country girl. I'm not going to say words that, but a simple fact that people in in other sectors, because I'm not in the beef sector, but still, people in other sectors like to dox people and all this and stuff. And trust me, my family is not the family that you want to play with that. I promise you. We have too many family members that reach across every state, so it's not a good idea. So, in order to cover myself and my family, I didn't put any address out there. Okay, so I love this property, and it's been some years that we've been trying to restore it. That is sitting on 3 acres. Even over here, I don't know where you can't see it, but to the left that you're looking at, there's a whole, on the other side of the driveway, there's a whole another house and property over there that my family owned as well. Hold on. Okay. Sorry you see my big thumb in the picture. So, I'm in my pajamas still. So, anyway, it is so much going on, you guys. I just can't. I just can't. The level of hate that I am seeing on YouTube, I didn't think it existed. I just really didn't. And even though I'm not directly involved, you can feel it. If you have a heart or if you have discernment, you can just feel. It's not going to end well. It's just not. And I'm praying for all those that's involved. You see my little tore up computer. This is the one I let my grandkids and stuff play on. So don't come for me here because I'm using their computer. Anywho, this is what I want to say. In 2020, we have to stay focused because you have so much that's coming against you. And this is a new decade. However you start is how you end up, unless you do some changing along the line. So why not just start out correctly? You get what I'm saying? Thank you. You can clear off my phone now. Okay, so my I have a I'm blessed. Let me say it like this: my mom's great auntie is still living, so that would make her my great. Hold on, make her my great great auntie. She's 107 years old, still in her right mind, everything, and that's a blessing. I'm drawn to older people like elderly people. I love sitting. I've always been like that, even as a kid, sitting around elderly people, getting wisdom, finding out what they went through, and to see how they survived. And when you look at her, she doesn't look like she's 107. She looks like she's about 80, and that's how our genes is. I'm gonna show a picture tomorrow, probably, or later on today, of my grandmother. And my grandmother, you'll see when you look at that picture of her and everything, you'll see all those ethnic and exotic features in her face. My grandmother's mother and dad, no, my grandmother's grandmother, okay, yeah, my grandmother's grandmother was from Spain, and they came over here. She got married to an Indian. And back then, it wasn't anything for Indians and black people to marry. So she got married to an Indian who was actually of two tribes. And the Indian and my grandmother the Indian and my great grandmother made my grandmother. Okay, there we go. I got it together. I'm like, wait a minute, Cora, where are you going with this? Okay, so just to think is so much. I mean, I'm all over the place with this right now because I feel so much. One, because there's so much racism, and it's going to be more and more of that. It's like we're back almost in the 70s, coming out of the 60s, where people not sure if they want to be racist or your friend. And then you have black people that are not sure if they want to like you or not. Like, I don't go through that, but I'm seeing it play out on YouTube, and I'm just like tripping, and it's like, really, I just don't get it. So I'm gonna leave that alone, and I'm moving forward. Okay. So, as I was stating, my great great auntie is 107 years old, still in her right mind. She lives in another state, but hopefully this weekend, if not this weekend, next weekend, we'll be going down there to see her. And I'm just excited to sit and just hear all the conversations again that she's been through. And I feel like these people fought for the right for us Afro Americans, let me just say it like it, to act a fool like we do, and it's ridiculous. Even in my city, I just shake my head. I have a company that I'm starting from a babe. I might have to stick my finger back over here again if it goes. Yeah, okay, so I have a company that I'm starting from scratch, and I'm not going to say the name yet, but what it does is it babysits elderly people. Okay. It babysits, this is funny. It babysits elderly people and everything like that, because as time go on, there's going to be a lot of people that can't afford to put their elderly loved ones in a nursing home and things like that. So my company is going to become relevant. I'm trying to dot all my I's and cross all my T's and things like that. Because when I do actually go forward, like, I have my brand, I have my logo, I have. I'm supposed to be working with somebody on YouTube, Diamond Dori, to write up my contract for me. Because it's a business, it's not friendship, it's not even kinship, it's business. Okay, and I'm very much a business person, so I've learned a lot, and I need my contracts to be airtight, and I need my contracts to specify on there what it is that I'm offering, what it is that they need, how the payment structure is set up, because the first payment, I'm going to need a down payment before we even get started. That's just how I'm going to roll. I've already been set up to take credit cards for years, because this is not the only business that I had, but this is the one that I'm focusing on because it means so much to me. Because, like I said, I love the elderly people. And I want to make sure that they're taken care of. I do have a medical background as well, so that's going to work in my favor. Um, Man, it's just I'm trying to stay focused, y'all. So anyway, that's one of the things I want to come on. Get your business straight. Even if you're working even if you're working a circular business, or you're working in an office or a factory or whatever you have desired to do, whether it be cooking, cleaning, like have your own hustle. That's about to be birthed. I bet you're putting a lot of focus in. If you got to work somewhere else, work somewhere else. Come home, de-stress, do what you got to do at your house, and then spend at least an hour a day on making your vision come true. How many times have we made another man, another woman, millions off of our backs, and then we come home? Are they unfaithful to us if we have a sick day and they fire us and we have nothing to show for it? I don't want any of my sister and brothers to be in that predicament. Even if it's a daycare, if you want to open up a daycare, you may not be able to get funding from the government because I know here in my city, so many African Americans was balling. I mean, they had it going on here because they had like 2 and 3 daycares in the West End where it was predominantly, African American, and they was, oh my goodness, just balling. They was wonderful. Well, the government got wind of that here and started, they called it sweeping, quote unquote, all daycares, but they only focused on the West End. Imagine that. Not out there where predominantly whites are. And I don't have nothing against white people. I can't because my mother got some of that in her. But in the majority of the West End where there was African American domination, okay, they did a sweep. And any little thing that they found that was maybe a parent forgot to sign in but signed out. Maybe you sent your child, maybe one of your neighbors dropped your child out because you was running late, and the neighbor didn't know the protocol and forgot to sign the child in, but they sent but when you came and got the child, you sent the child out. Well, they went back and looked at stuff like that and was closing black daycares down left and right for the most menial of violations, not giving them a chance to get it together, closing them, okay? Then they change the criteria on what a daycare is supposed to be here if you're getting government assistance, which knocked more African Americans out. So now you have all these beautiful buildings where it was once thriving African American businesses for daycares that's empty. About 5 people that owned daycares went to prison. Well, went to jail. 2 went to prison. I mean, it was crazy. So now don't nobody want to even do that no more. And it's hard for people who, wow. There's another thing. They changed the criteria to where the government here will only pay for daycares from 6 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, where you had some daycares that was open. Sorry, y'all, I got to do that again. You had some daycares that was open 24/7 because, some people work third shift. Some people work from 11 p.m. to 7 in the morning. So you had some daycares that ran a skeleton crew for those type of people. And, it was working out well. They didn't have to call in. They didn't have to try to find somebody to watch their kids. Honey, they changed that. So now you don't really hear of, where I live at, you don't hear of daycares open from 11 p.m. to 7 in the morning. That is so sad. So I'm just saying, I'm trying to cover all my bases. I'm looking at other people, like a couple of my friends that own, like one of my friends still owns 2 daycares, and she's doing really well. She had to change her criteria and everything, but she's still holding on. But she also works a 9 to 5. You understand what I'm saying? And everything. But she has been readily available to help me with my contracts, like to tell me what it should say, tell me, look up this, look up that, make sure it's registered here, and that's what it's about. And I think it's why I said, the hate on YouTube is kind of draining because, and I mean, I know people do what they do and they grown. Everybody can do what they want to do, and by no means am I trying to change anybody because I can't change no one but myself, okay? And I wouldn't even try. It's just how I feel. I'm just talking about how I feel. Um, but I'm grateful to have African American women and men who are willing to sit with me and talk with me and want me to succeed and tell me, Coco, this is what you need to do. This is how you need to do it. And, make sure all your bases is covered. And this is the base you need to do. And this, take your time. We know that you want to get out there, but I'd rather for you to take 3 to 6 months and make sure it's solid than to halfway go out here and then you get zapped here, you get zapped there and have to pay all these fees and all this and stuff like that. So, that's smart. So maybe right now, my business is not out here like it should be. It's rumored, people is getting used to the name that is coming, and I'm grateful for that. Um, I used to do private duty work as well. Like I told you, I have a medical background, and I used to do private duty work, and I enjoyed it. And for those of you that don't know, private duty work is when you contracted by a temporary agency and you could go to different places, people's homes. They have elderly people who is living in a home and they have to work or whatever. You go, make sure they eat, give them a bath if you have to, administer their medicine. Just private duty. That's what you do, but it's basically for people who are handicapped. So I used to do that for years, as well as I was a manager at a restaurant. So I had the bags coming in. When I was younger, I didn't waste my time. I didn't waste my time at all. I didn't have time to waste because I always knew that this time today was coming. And what I mean by that is that we would have government people or people in authority that didn't care for African Americans. My family always instilled in me rather, the importance of one, your heritage, and importance of knowing who you are and making a name for yourself and keeping your name as great as you could. Even if you make a mistake, don't keep making the mistake. Get up, dust yourself off, and recreate. That's why they make erasers on pencils so you can erase it and start over. So, that's been me. I haven't always walked the walk that I'm walking because I had some things going on. I told you guys, about molestation and stuff. And I'm going to pick back up on that too in one of my other videos that I do. Some of you have been asking why don't I do lives at this point, the way the YouTube has set it up, until you get a certain amount of subscribers. At least that's what I was told, that you can't go live. Okay. And plus, like I said, like right now I'm recording on my phone because this is my grandkids' computer I let them play with. Mine is actually being created for me. But I wanted to, getting back to what I was saying. So I always knew this day would come because it's like a cycle. We cycle out, we recycle. You know how they say, like back in my mom and grandma's time, they had the natural wigs and the big hoop earrings and the platform shoes and the mini skirts. Well, then when I was coming up in my teens, we had mini skirts and we started wearing the platforms. And now, see, everything, it just recycles. So, what's good recycles as well as what's bad. So, it's just a cycle of life, and it's going to be where you are on the food chain, how you come out of it, and some things you just don't want to repeat. And that's me. Some things I don't want to repeat. The Bible says you leave an inheritance for your children's children. And that's what I have worked so hard to do for my grandkids so they can say, because to tell a little bit about me, as I stated, I had to drop out of high school. And but I went back to get my high school diploma as a teenage mother. And I ended up going to medical school. I ended up, at the age of 45, getting my doctorate degree in something totally different. So, and that was years ago. So, you're never too old to do what you want to do. I couldn't get my medical doctor because, like I said, I had kids, and all this and stuff. And at the time, people was telling me, you can't do it with kids. And I listened. I was not aware that I could have went to school with my kids. And they would have, at that time, helped me with daycare why I went to school and why I had a part-time job, and I still could have became that medical doctor that I wanted to become, and everything. But I don't regret my life, because what you see now and who I am now is a reflection of what I went through, and I came out on top. I was not a statistic. I came out on top. I'm a survivor. Actually, I'm more than a survivor. And I always try to empower other people. I like to laugh, I like to live, and I like to love. And my philosophy is I will love those that will let me love them. If it becomes an issue where I can't love you for whatever reason because of what you're doing, not that I'm going to hate you, but that I can't show you the love that I give, then I back up from you and I love you from a distance. That's what that means. A whole lot of people, I wonder what they do in their real life that I see on YouTube. I'm like, what? Some of that stuff that you see is really people. It's really who they are. And I wonder, how can you go through your life and be this bitter, this evil, this nasty? And don't get me wrong, now I've lived, don't get me wrong, but I've never seen a whole, anyway. So I'm looking forward, you guys, to going to see my great great auntie who's 107, and that's still. We just lost one cousin last month who was 105. Yeah, we live a long time. We live a long time. Let me see. My auntie that's 107. She lost her sister in 2018 and she was 100. So, yeah, you know, if you saw my mom, you wouldn't think she was in her late 60s. She doesn't look it. She actually looks like she could be my sister. And when me, her, and one of my sisters are together, they think we're all sisters. And we're like, no, that's our mother, back up off of her. So I'm just saying, this is a challenge. Write down the three things, if money wasn't an issue, that you would do. Only three. If money wasn't an issue, what you would do. Write down three things that you like to do. And write down three things, if you can be honest, on what you don't like about you. And every day, read that and see how far you are to what you want to do, what you like to do, and how far away from what you don't like about yourself. Sometimes when we see things written down on paper, it helps us to focus more. It helps us to put things in perspective. So even if it's a health issue, even if you're going through health issues right now, what can you do to be better? Oh, sorry, y'all. This is how we're going to do this. I'm tired of doing that. What can you do that'll make your situation better? Is it that you need to drink more water? Is it that you need to walk a little bit more if you can't walk? Is it that you need to just move some? Do meditation to clear your mind? What is it that would improve your situation to get you to the best you could be? Because, see, you can't be me. I can't be you, but I can be the best me I can. I can be the most authentic me. I know a lot of times some people do drugs and alcohol to escape their reality. Sometimes people's reality are the demons that chase them from their past. They can't handle it, or they don't know how to handle it, so they get drunk or high. And I understand that. Believe it or not, my escape at that time from some stuff that I was going through, I would fight all the time. Like, you couldn't say too much to me. I wouldn't argue. I would just fight. Point blank, period. And my other vice was sex. Oh, honey, Coco, Wait, it's more stuff when you all hear it, you're gonna be like, what? Yeah, cause yeah, and you know what? I'm not ashamed of it because again, that's what made me who I am today, and I can reach back and I can minister to someone and tell them if God did it for me, and this is where I was, He can do it for you. And yes, I believe in Jesus Christ. I serve Him with everything that I have. I believe in God. So if this offends you, maybe my channel is not the channel for you because everything is about Him. Everything is about when I close my eyes for the last time and I open them again. I want to be in heaven with my Father, and not everything and everybody's going. Some of this stuff down here, unless you get it together, you're going to pay for. I'm serious. And I know a whole lot of people feel like they're going, but got news for you. That thing that says Bible, the Holy Bible, this is if you believe in Jesus and if you believe in God. That Holy Bible, you better read it. And I don't care, let me say this, and this is not going after nobody because I hear a lot of people say a lot of things. But let me tell you something. If you're not doing what you see in the Word, please don't try to take me to other books that's not there because you're not doing that either. Why would you follow other books and you can't follow the book you read or the book that's available? I'm just saying, my opinion. So, not knocking nobody or nothing. I'm just saying a lot of times we come up with excuses for why we do what we do. And, you know, I'm going to say this and then I'm getting off of here. The Bible was never meant to make your flesh feel good. Never. The Bible was never meant to agree with you. It was for reproof and correction to have a better life following God. And sometimes that better life may seem like it's hard because in this world, the devil, he has his way. Everything is loose, everything is available. And I always tell people it's a difference between church and kingdom. Church, anything can go on the church. You can teach what you want to, you can preach what you want to do, blah, blah, blah. But when you're in the kingdom of God, no. No ma'am, no ham, no sandwich. It doesn't go like that. When you're going in the kingdom of God, you have to walk in a line, a straight line, not a zigzag one, because God loves all of us. He loves all of us. He hates our sin, my sin, your sin. Anything that he deems sin, it's sin. And we can't overlook that and try to say, well, X, Y, and Z, this, that, and the other. Because, you just can't. You can make uh, you can try to make excuses for what you do. But then when it's all said and done, you still have to die. You still have to open up your eyes in heaven and give an account for every deed that has been done in your body. And in Revelations, it always talk about the books. Okay, there's going to be the book of good, the book of evil, and the book of life. Where will you show up? I want my names written. I want my name written in the Lamb's Book of Life. So that's why I try to treat people better than they treat me or whatever. But when I find out that it can't be done, because some people's they just hell bent, if I can say it like that, on just being nasty and negative and and if that's who they are, that's who they are. Sometimes that's the people's core. And you just have to let them be, and love them from a distance. I can honestly say I really don't have anything against anybody, and that's truthful because you have to care a lot in order to have something against somebody, and I don't care. I love you as a soul, and I keep it moving. And as long as I love you like Christ love you, I don't have a fight, and I don't have a dog in the fight. Okay, and that's how we should look at it. Even when it comes to our president, I don't agree with him, and me personally, that's not somebody I would want to have anything to do with. However, he is still a leader, and I still am required by God to pray for our leaders so that they can hear from God. Okay, and a lot of people are not doing that, and you're wondering why this man is still speaking out of just his neck and saying stuff and doing because we're not doing what thus said the Lord. He wants us to cover our leaders and to pray for our leaders, and so that's what I do. I don't like a whole lot of stuff that he do. I don't like him as a person, but that's not what God called me to do. He didn't say I'm supposed to like him. I got to pray for him. See? So whenever we do what God's supposed to do, we don't have a dog in the fight because I'm being obedient. So I just want to say that. And I love you guys. If you would like, subscribe. And I should be back today, but if not, smooches. Have a blessed day. The lesson I learned today is, again, make sure that I'm obedient. I don't have to like you, but I do have to love you in order to see the Lord.